the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Hit the like button on your way in the building. We got a lot to talk about. Didn't even know we were having training camp today. And it turns out Mike McDaniel decided to have it anyway and get a lot of the starters to play. Basically starting the main team reps, where the starters pretty much get majority of the reps. So it's obvious he's trying to get into game form. So we're going to talk about that and more. So hit the like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. Yeah, there's tons to talk about. Before we get started, this stream is being brought to you powered by BetUS. It's your opportunity to receive 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. It's also in the chat of the video as well. Take advantage of BetUS. I use it. A lot of y'all already use it. I already know. I've spoken to some of you guys. You say you love it. And again, I'm going to always keep saying this. Take advantage of the 125% bonus. They had a prop up the other day that said the Miami Dolphins win streak at 3.5, which I forgot what the odds were, but I was like, we're definitely going to have a 4, 5, 6 game win streak at some point this season. That's an easy bet. So go find that one on BetUS, the win streak bet. And me, I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over. We're definitely going to at least have a 4-game win streak once this season. at least once this season, we should have a 4-game win streak. So I'm taking the over on that one. So check it out on BetUS, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the link is in the description of the video, and it's also in the comment section as well. All right, so there was practice today. Not too much to talk about. We'll just dive into it. I'm going to read some of the reports from some of the writers and things from today, and we'll go from there. We'll pretty much read what they said. The highlight of the day was Tua Tagovailoa has his worst day of practice this year. It's crazy how I'm one of those individuals that's not really tripping about it like many other people are. I know a lot of people are making a big deal out of it. These things happen. Now, I do have my concerns with it, but these things happen. He threw 3 interceptions today. We'll read exactly what happened in practice because there were some other things with other players that's worth noting as well. And we'll go through it all here on TDPHINSTALK. So give me a second. I liked Omar Kelly's report. I'm going to bring that one up. I prefer to use his. And again, we didn't even know they were going to have practice today. That was a shocker. McDaniel said he wanted to get it done. So first I wanted to start with I'm not going to start with the stock report. I'm going to go over what happened in practice today, okay? That's the best place to start. Okay. All right. And again, don't get mad at me. Don't kill me. I'm not the one that said, that's why I put report up. Okay. I wasn't there to witness it. Omar Kelly tweeted today was Tua Tagovailoa's worst practice of camp. So hey, it's a report. So I put it up because that's what happened. Again, I'm not even going to make much of it. It is what it is. I will tell you my concerns as I read the tweets from today, okay? All right, so before we get started, we got a super chat. And again, thank you to everybody who showed love in the Cash App. If you especially if you send a significant donation, I always prefer Cash App so YouTube doesn't take 40% of it. So I'm appreciative of those who are doing that. Salah said maybe, just maybe, our defense is balling out right now. What if Tua balls out and goes and offense goes crazy? Then our fans will say the defense sucks. No, I don't. If Tua balls out, he just balls out. That's amazing. He's taking the next step to be our franchise quarterback. That's what you want, you know? But if we can get a combination of Tua balling out with this offense and the defense balling out, Super Bowl. It's that simple. Super Bowl. That's what it's going to take, okay? But time will tell, you know? Time will tell, and we'll go through it. All right, here we go. Highlights, lowlights, and observations from the 12th practice, day 19 of Miami Dolphins training camp. The Dolphins initially weren't scheduled to practice Sunday, but head coach Mike McDaniel said there was a rethink because he didn't want the players kept out of the preseason opener to go 4 straight days without practicing. The team practiced inside the Baptist Health Training Complex with no fans in attendance. All right, so I like that, you know. If they didn't practice today, we know they're not practicing tomorrow, and then they'll be traveling Tuesday. They got to get their affairs in order Tuesday so they can practice. Monday so that they can travel on Tuesday. I'll be traveling Tuesday as well. Who knows? I might be seeing them at the airport. I have no clue what time they're getting in. But yeah, so I get that. He don't want the starters going 4 days without practicing. That's the recipe for disaster with any team. That's why I told you all. Today I was told this is the starters' day. I made 3 phone calls. I only got one response from one person that was there. They gave me the inside scoop. And I'll share it with you guys. I'm just trying to be optimistic about everything and not blow everything out of proportion. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm trying my very best to try, especially with today's practice, to be a little more optimistic instead of pessimistic. But I will tell you the truth about what's happened. Okay. Let's keep going on this report. Smith does some work. Waddle is out. So Cam Smith, he really didn't practice much, but he does a little bit of work. But Waddle is out. We already know that. I think they're shutting Waddle down for the rest of the camp. Okay. We'll start off with the attendance check. which was highlighted perhaps by the presence of rookie cornerback Cam Smith, even though his participation was limited. Those who didn't practice Sunday were wide receiver Jalen Waddle, Alec Ingle, Braylon Sanders, Miles Gaskins, interesting, Dan Feeney, Jalen Ramsey, of course, Keon Croson, and safety Brandon Jones. Okay, and we know that. Veteran Teron Armstead did work with offensive line, but did not participate in team periods, so it don't matter. For a second consecutive practice, nobody wore an orange jersey. For the joint practice, with Atlanta, so as to not put a bullseye on a player who would have been deemed to have had, the better of the Falcons in the first joint practice. All right, I guess. Wide receiver Roby Chosen, who McDaniel was happy, who McDaniel, what he meant to write, has kept out of the preseason opener because of some injury issues, was in full participant in practice. Rookie cornerback Ethan Bonner also was back in action. All right. So that's your injury report, who was there and who wasn't. That's simple, all right? Shout out to the homie King Cat, just came through again. He said, go Jets, man. King Cat, we not worried about the Jets, bro. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't get it. Y'all, like, you're not nervous, bro? You're not nervous that they're just going to fizzle out? Like, what if they are the Broncos? What would you do if they were the Broncos next year? What would you do as a fan if they were the Broncos next year, bro? Like, and you have no concern of that? Like, you just, we're Super Bowl, we good. No, like, come on, man. Like, really think about that. Because at the end of the day, you're still young and unproven. You got Aaron Rodgers, but outside of that, you're young and unproven. Time will tell. All right, so Omar's next point is rough practice for Tua, okay? After sitting out the preseason opener against Atlanta, Tua Tagovailoa took every snap in teamwork. In 11-on-11s, Tua was the only one practicing. Mike White didn't practice. He didn't get reps. Skyler didn't get reps. This was a normal practice that you have in a season where the starters are rolling. Tua took every single snap, okay? Including late game situation and red zone in practice, and did not have a good outing, to put it very politely. So Omar said he did all the work, did not have a good outing, to put it lightly. So TD's going to put it lightly today. Just wasn't a great practice. Without getting animated, from my understanding, what was told to me, it was an absolute disaster. Made a few plays here and there, but they were few in between. It was an absolute disaster. I was also told, and I wrote it on Twitter, all this talk about Skyler and Mike White, and then our starting quarterback comes out today and look worse than they did in the preseason game. Ain't my words, it's just what was told to me. But it's preseason, it's practice. Nothing to be worried about. Right? At least we hope so. Who is this? Oh, King Cat with another one. What I've always done. I was born into the darkness, bro. Can't get any worse. Nah, that's cap. That's cap. So you try to basically say I'm used to losing, so it can't get no worse. That's cap. You know good and well that you got your energy up and you expect big things. Because, bro, I ain't trying to disrespect you, but I got to call you out. If you don't have big expectations, that's cap. You can't sit here and tell me you're just going with the motions. If they don't, oh, well, it is what it is. Come on, that's cap. You got to be emotionally invested with all of this, especially knowing this team can finally have a chance. Because I would be capping if I said that about the Dolphins. I would be straight capping. I don't believe you. I'm sorry. That's just me. I find that hard to believe. Now, before I read all of this, let me just hurry up and tell y'all what was told to me that happened in practice today. Tua almost threw 5 picks today. He threw 3. 2 of them should have been picks that were dropped. That's what was told to me. Let's get that out the way. Okay? Tua's ball placement was horrific. Underthrowing, and throwing behind receivers. Some things a little too high. But at the same token, there were a whole bunch of passes that, that was a nice one in the red zone work in the middle. Ooh, that was a nice out over there. Tua's always going to have those nice passes here and there. But the overall gist of practice was worse than the Green Bay game. Because what was told to me, just like I already know, the Green Bay game, at least he cooked for 3 quarters. He actually looked amazing for 3 quarters. Today, you could tell he had time off, and he just ain't the same. And I basically said, man, I don't know, is something bothering him? Now, somebody said this on Twitter. I don't know how to react to this. I don't know if I should be like, man, come on, now I done heard everything. Or I should be like, well, that's a valid point. I don't know. I'll let y'all decide. Somebody brought this up to me on Twitter. They said it's hard to focus with all the wildfires and stuff going on in Hawaii when his family, people he know going through that. I don't know what to do with that. We continue to pray for those in Hawaii. Hope things get better because it is pretty bad over there. But that's what I was told. And I'm like, I don't know if to say yeah or come on, man. I don't know. So I'm going to leave it alone. So, I mean, I could go either way with it. I could literally be like, I done heard it all now. Or I could be like, well, maybe it is, but I don't know. I don't know what's in the kid's head. All I know is on Friday night, he was on the sideline laughing, jumping, having a good old time, and ain't nothing outside of that game was on his mind. And them fires been going on for a while now. But who am I to say when it bothers you or not? Don't say stop that. I'm just telling you what was told to me. This ain't my opinion. I don't know what to do with it. I have no clue. Maybe it is bothering him. Maybe something happened last night or this morning that bothered him that he got news. We don't know. We have no clue. So at the end of the day, that's why, these things happen. People have bad days of practice. And people have bad days of practice. My big thing is this. If this is a symptom of something else, hey, it happens. Let's just let it be. If it's not and it's just Tua going through more growing pains, then ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it alone, but I will say this. Y'all don't have to be, but I'm concerned about our quarterback position. With this roster, I am highly concerned about our quarterback position. Because it's not just this practice, it's all the practices before this that I've been to. I haven't seen a great practice from Tua yet. And for them to have an impromptu, and he absolutely is a train wreck. And then the crazy thing is, this fan base did all of that talking about Skyler and Mike White, including myself. We did all that talking about how we need to throw him away, and if it ain't Tua, then we're screwed. And then our starter goes out and look worse than both of them did in the preseason game. Look worse. I'm concerned about the quarterback position. It is officially, to me, a risk of dethroning the season, just like the O-line. And then when you add the O-line, it can make the quarterback play even worse. We got to get our stuff together. We got to really get our stuff together. They making all these roster moves, cutting this person, picking that up. We got to get our stuff together. Myra said King Cat hit the lotto or something. He sent another one. He said, what King Cat said? Just say he isn't ready yet. Excuses don't help anyone. I will say this, though. This is the time when you want him making those mistakes. I wouldn't panic just yet. That's kind of why I said what I said. I ain't finna blow this practice out of proportion. I think a lot of people would expect, Tua was trash again. I told y'all, man. I think people are waiting, and I'm not even gonna trip about this, man. Because here's the truth. I ain't seen a great practice from Tua yet, but I hadn't seen a disaster from him yet either. And I ain't see this one either. And today was the first one because it was reported. And if they report it, you know it was bad. If they report it, man, if they reported it, what? Ain't nobody out here better not say nothing. So that's the positive side for me. I've been to, I don't know, 8 or 9, 8 engagements now or something like that. I ain't seen a horrible practice from him, but I ain't seen a great one either. And this sounds like this is the first horrible. Last year, I saw like 3 killer, amazing practices, and I saw like 2 or 3 bad ones, and like 4 practices. This year, I done seen like 7 and yeah, I've seen like 7 I ain't seen nothing. It's like, okay, some nice throws, some bad things, like average, slightly above average at best. I've seen a consistent level of that this camp. And now they're reporting this bad one, so we got a bad one in there. I ain't seen a great one yet, and that's why I'm concerned. I know people, it's just practice, it's just preseason, and ain't no need to be concerned. At some point, you can start being concerned. You can start being concerned. Let's just be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest. If Tyreek Hill went out there and dropped every single pass in training camp, people are going to start being concerned. He got to do better. But I don't know if something going on. And at the end of the day, man, Tua's going to be all right. Because y'all know who is really on. Y'all know who this is really on. Who got to get him to go? Mike McDaniel. It's that simple. It's on Mike McDaniel. But I'm glad they practiced today because it may help him get the kinks out. And guess what? We got to go to Houston, show up and show out. We got to go to Houston and show up and show out. And I believe the kid will. Y'all mark my words. I believe Tua is going to go to Houston and put on a clinic. I believe he's going to go to Houston and put on a clinic. These young guys, this is where you show up. He'll be just fine. There's nothing to panic about, nothing to overreact about, nothing to get all bent out of shape. He's going to redeem himself and do his thing in Houston. We'll be just fine. All right? All right, so let's continue with the report from training camp. All right? Tua was picked out 3 times by Noah Igbenogany, Javon Holland, and Deshaun Elliott. That's that deep. Trying to go deep. You got 2 safeties and Noah taking shots. And was off target on a couple other occasions. Igbenogany had his 2nd interception against Tua in practice in 8 days when he jumped a route near the left sideline and stepped in front of Cedric Wilson Jr. for what would have been a pick 6 if a game situation. So Noah out here jumping routes, man. Noah out here jumping routes. That's interesting. I think we, as a team, have become comfortable due to the fact making the playoffs for the first time in years was enough. Yeah, that's bad thinking, honestly. That is bad thinking. Right? Listen, man. For those who are saying you're unsubscribing because of the title, stop lying to yourself. You, at the end of the day, just buy. Stop lying to yourself. The title, I'm unsubscribing because of the title. Get out of here. You ain't got to let me know. Bye. Like, why do people have to announce their exit? It's ridiculous. The report is Tua Tagovailoa has his worst day of practice this year. That's what the report was. Get out your feelings. All right, let's keep it going. We got one more. Said Igbo has been stepping up this season. I ain't gonna lie, he has. That's the interesting part. He really has. He really has been stepping up. Man, if he can turn a corner, that's gonna help Chris Greer big time. Because man, imagine that. That's the one that I don't care who you are and how much you lie, you ain't nobody saw that coming. So that'll be nice if he can turn the corner. That'll be pretty dope. That'll be pretty dope. Glenn said you did not even report it. Omar did. Listen, these are the people that will unsubscribe. In 2 weeks from now, they'll subscribe again, but in those 2-week period, they'll be watching anyway. It's just ridiculous. Some people just need to grow up. Just sad. Well, you talking, I'm sick of you. That's it. You know what? You drawing the line. You talked about Tua the last time. I ain't even say nothing negative about him in this stream. I'm actually kind of having his back, saying I ain't worried about it. It happens. I'm actually looking out for the man. This is why you can't make everybody happy. That's why you just do you. Wilson did have a spectacular one-handed catch in the back of the end zone that was highlighted on the team's social media account, though it did not come on a play where Tua would have been sacked. It did come on a play that Tua would have been sacked in a game situation. So Cedric Wilson caught a nice ball, but it would have been a sack. O-line. Wilson also was the intended receiver on a third interception pass, a pass in the end zone that was thrown behind the receiver and deflected right into the hand of Elliott. Ball placement. At the end of the day, that's the ball placement that has to be cleaned up. Right? Let me see. The pick by Holland came when he stepped in front of Tyreek Hill on a deep pass down the middle of the field. Tua did have 3 short touchdown passes in the red zone work, one to Jeff Wilson Jr. on a nice throw over the middle, one to Hill, and the last to tight end Durham Smythe. Tua's best pass of the day was a strike down the middle to rookie tight end Julian Hill that would have been good for some 30 yards. Awesome. So that's 3 touchdowns in the red zone work and a nice 30-yard strike over the middle. Pretty dope. And that's the Tua that always, every practice, he has these throws. And this is why I tell y'all, man, Tua ain't no bum. He just have bum moments sometimes, you know. Shout out to McCelium, said in the All Dolphins podcast, Omar pretty much stated that the corner position is Igbo's to lose. That's crazy. Yeah. But hey, in Fangio's system, maybe that's exactly what he needed all this time, was a system where all he got to do is worry about his area, and he ain't got to chase guys going across the field all the time. He ain't got to chase guys on deep crossers. If y'all really want to be honest, that's what Igbo teams just picked on him. We're going to hit him with this deep crosser. We're going to make him chase the fastest receiver going all the way across the field. Murked. Now he just got to go over there and play his little 20 by 15 area. This is me. That's all he got to do. That's why he comfortable jumping routes now, leaving this guy to go deeper, doing all of that because he's playing in his area, and he ain't got to worry about outside of that. That's other people's responsibility. So, could be turning the corner. Interesting. All right, so here we go. The Hill-Apple showdown arrives. Tyreek Hill versus Eli Apple. Media members who had so been looking forward to the new cornerback Eli Apple covering Hill, given their prior social media exchange and Hill's playful trash talking after Apple arrived, got their wish Sunday as they went head-to-head 3 times. The first matchup came with the offense near the goal line, and Apple won the rep after getting right in Hill's face at the line and closely guarding him before Tua completed a pass to Wilson on other half of field. Hill came back with the touchdown catch on a nice back shoulder throw by Tua, despite tight coverage by Apple. He'll also caught another pass against Apple in the open field near the sideline. Hill had a nice low catch in the middle of the field against a different defender. Apple later came back with a pass breakup against wide receiver Eric Ezukama. Other defensive highlights: linebacker Channing Tindall followed up his active preseason opener by knocking away a Tua pass in the middle of the field, a pass deflect. The defense again had its share of would-be sacks, understanding that some of them are the result of quarterbacks looking to extend plays to attempt to pass. With Bradley Chubb, Raekwon Davis, Jalen Phillips, and Malik Reed all getting to Tua. That is 4 sacks on Tua. Reed was very active in the pass rushing department, and he had another pressure on a play where Jalen Tweeman tackled Devon A-Chain for a loss. The last play of practice, fittingly enough, featured a pass breakup in the back of the end zone with Xavier Howard knocking the ball away before it got to Hill. And that was your training camp report. I'm going to look at stock up and stock down and see if there's anything different that was observed from everybody's stock. And by the way, Omar Kelly said the offense struggled for the 5th straight outing. Let me say that again. The offense struggled for the 5th straight outing. So I ain't lying to y'all. I ain't tripping. What have I been reporting to y'all ever since I started camp? He's saying the offense struggled for the 5th straight outing. I ain't seen nothing good for the last 8. Now, I know he ain't counting the preseason, the game in the scrimmage, but all 8 of them for me, I ain't seen nothing. But Omar's telling you for the 5th straight outing, the offense struggles. Now, mind you, also, a lot of stuff on Twitter has been very interesting. Omar's been saying this, but he say we're not Super Bowl contenders. And he's honestly listing everything that's keeping us from being Super Bowl contenders. We're like 5-6 pieces away, according to him, from being a Super Bowl contender. Another free safety, another corner, a linebacker, O-line. According to him, we're not Super Bowl contenders. Interesting. People are saying that I'm the negative one. I'm just telling y'all this is what's actually happening. And I'm glad to see he continues to be honest, often struggles for the 5th straight outing. Truth is, we're just all waiting on the breakthrough. We balled today. Now we ain't going to be able to see it until Houston training, and we hope that we see it. We got to have a ball out day in the Houston training camp. We have to, y'all. We definitely have to. All right, give me a second. Let me see if he got a stock up and stock down report yet. Top performers: Noah Igbenogany, Javon Holland, and Isaiah Wynn. Interesting. Stock down. At the top of his stock down is quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. It wasn't just the interceptions that Tagovailoa threw that were disappointing. The 4th-year starter was off the mark on a handful of passes, some of which hit the ground before they even got close to his intended target. There were also a handful of would-be sacks caused by sensational coverage, more so than offensive linemen, tight ends, or tailbacks getting beat. Because the tide of the offense goes with the quarterback's performance, it's easy to say Tagovailoa needs to tighten the screws on his overall execution. Nobody cares that he's working without Jalen Waddle and now Braxton Berrios. His job is to protect the football, move the offense into scoring territory, and to execute in the red zone. And that's the only stock down he put on there. Usually he got 3 stock ups and 3 stock downs. He only put 1, and that was Tua. And I'm shocked at Omar. Wait, let me see if Omar wrote this, because sometimes he just be posting it, be a different writer. Yeah, he wrote it. I am shocked. I'm shocked. Man, you got to admire the honesty, man. Most of the time, you think that Tua's hands off for the media, but Omar, it wasn't just the interceptions that Tagovailoa threw that were disappointing. The fourth-year starter was off the mark on a handful of passes, some of which hit the ground before they even got close to his intended target. There were also a handful of would-be sacks caused by sensational coverage, more so than offensive linemen, tight ends, and tailbacks getting beat. Because the tide of the offense goes with the quarterback's performance, it's easy to say Tagovailoa needs to tighten the screws on his overall execution. Nobody cares that he doesn't have Jalen Waddle and now Braxton Berrios. His job is to protect the football, move the offense into scoring territory, and to execute in the red zone. I'm concerned about this offense, ladies and gentlemen. I am concerned about this offense, especially when you basically saying the offense weren't the reason for the sacks. Quarterback trying to extend plays. And out of all people, the one quarterback we don't want extending plays. The one quarterback, and that's another thing, y'all. There ain't been a lick of practicing getting rid of the ball or sliding, or there ain't been a lick of that in camp. Not one time in 8 occasions that I've been to. That concerns me. I don't think Tua cares. He ain't out here trying to do nothing different. He like, man, it was just a freak accident. At the end of the day, I'm going out to play football. I honestly like, and I'm gonna be honest, every time he has a press conference talking about the jiu-jitsu, the way he talk about it, he kind of brushes it off like he barely even did it. Like, yeah, I mean, like he did with like 2 or 3 sessions. Almost. He gonna be all right. Once again, I ain't finna make it a big deal. He'll be all right. He gonna be just fine. Let's just go take care of Houston. Get this offense back on track. Get this offense looking good. And everything will fix itself. Everything will be fine. Let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. We'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'll take a few questions before I get out of here. Again, this stream is not intended to make anything negative on Tua, just reporting what happened in practice today. Real hard to avoid it when that's he had a rough day, but he's gonna be all right. Why did Omar do that? What, tell the truth? Some people are willing to take that risk. I've always been one of them. Obviously, Omar is. Yeah, it is what it is, man. TD Tua played good last year. Have faith. I got faith. I mean, I don't think some of y'all understand. I have faith. How many times do I have to say it on this stream? He'll be fine. He'll be all right. It ain't that big of a deal what happened today. How many times I got to say that? How many times do I have to say that? It is what it is. All right. I'll take some questions before I get out of here. Ask away in the comment section. I got about 20 more minutes. All right. TD, is Greer hoarding money to pick up a bunch of waiver wire players, D-line depth, tight end? He not hoarding money. We ain't got no money to hoard. He's trying to save money because he know that he ain't even gonna have enough next year. He's trying to save as much as he can because he knows he's gonna need it next year. It's that simple. Skyler washed already. Tua works out or we bone. TD, how did Burrios get hurt? Stitches on forehead. I didn't even hear about that. I mean, I heard about it, but I have no idea. I heard about his injury, but I don't know how it happened. I'll look into it though. Hopefully, I have an answer for you on the next stream. Our offense be struggling at times, which is a concern. I agree. I've seen him for 4 years now, and we can't keep lying about ourselves. 3 years you've seen him. We're going into 4, but yeah, I mean, that's a reality. What do you think about the idea of bringing in Matt Ryan? Why? Why would we bring in Matt Ryan? What do we need him for? Are you saying just in case Tua gets hurt? I don't know which one you're saying. I don't think we need to bring in another quarterback. Tua is the guy. He needs to be healthy and finish the season and be our guy. It don't matter how good or bad he plays, he was going to be the starter. He can go out there and look like his old school Raiders and Denver game where Flores benched him. Mike McDaniel ain't benching him. He got to stay out there and stick it out. We don't need him. Yeah, slipping, Jimmy. I read it. You said Skyler washed already. Tua works out or we bone. He'll work out. Because he has to. He has to work out, or we are in big trouble as an organization. It all hinges on him. Any other questions, put them in the comment section. Fins finishing 3rd in the division this year. No, we'll be first. Let's get something straight. Don't think we're the only ones that have issues at times. Don't think we're the only ones. All right. King Jamie said, hi, guys. No worries. This is what preseason is for. We need to test all the guys to see where, my bad, this thing moving, to see where they fit best. It's not even about a win. We just dropped our 4th string quarterback, 2 weeks to 53. I love it, King Jamie. This ain't faith, that's hope. TD, I'm sad, mad, and worried, mixed emotions. Man, we're going to go out there on that field when the season starts, September 10th, light it up against the Chargers, get that W, and ain't none of us going to have a concern. We're going to be just fine, y'all. And I understand, you don't want to hear about practices like this. You don't want to hear about struggles. I mean, I get it. Who does? Nobody does. But they happen to every team. And some teams may practice better than others. But at the same token, what happens on that field in regular season is all that matters. Okay? Where do you think our defense will rank next year? That's a tough question. Me personally, top 10. I can't tell you where in the top 10, but I think we'll be top 10. I think I guess I can tell you. I think somewhere around 7. Only thing that sucks, we also got the potential to be ranked 20th. It's just so many unknowns. First of all, this is a first-year install on the defense. Make sure you understand that. People don't understand the intricacies. There's chess games going on out here, man. People don't understand that. TD, if the Browns, Ravens, or Jets make the playoffs and we don't, would Greer be fired because we could have had a different quarterback. Again, y'all have to understand when it comes to people getting fired, it depends on how you don't make it. How you don't make it. But I will tell you this, we don't make the playoffs. There's a big chance Greer would be getting fired. There's a big chance Greer would be getting fired. Now, there's a chance that he may be given 2 years, this year and next year, regardless. So it just depends on what's in Stephen Ross's mind. Depends on what's in his mind. Let's see. Herbert will slap Fangio around and Bosa eating sauce and spaghetti and meatballs. We'll see. Everyone is in here scrambling. LOL. Flores QB was not ready until this season, just like Tua. I don't know what y'all talking about. If you have any other questions, I'll answer them before I get out of here, guys. Any other questions? We can blow the Chargers out and the tears will continue. Well, some people maybe, but for me, that game means everything. That game right there tells us if we're ready for war or not. Because if we lose that game, it will tell us we the same old Dolphins who got a gimmick offense but can't get past the teams that play schematically against you. TD, did you see that Miami re-signed cornerback Jamal Perry and signed wide receiver Kiki Cody? Yeah, I saw it. But again, both of these guys may not even make the roster. You know, we're dealing with some injuries in camp right now. That's why a lot of guys are getting a lot of cook. Right? That actually helped me, TD. Thanks. Got you easy. Starting Noah Cam. Noah is going to be the starter, y'all. Unless the next 2 weeks he blows it for himself. He made an even better case today, and as Cam Smith is laboring an injury, he's making it even worse. But I'm going to tell y'all this, even if Cam Smith wasn't hurt, Noah probably would be the starter. They'll be splitting reps. But right now, it's Noah's job. It's Noah's job. Yeah. TD, what is the best way to contact you and Hillary for some help, advice? Email me at tdphinstalk@yahoo.com. Now, you already know I may not reply for 2 or 3 days because I'm so behind on all my stuff because I get so much stuff every day. But I end up catching up every 2 to 3 days. I catch up. So just hit me up and I'll get to you, bro. I got you. Appreciate you. Noah looking a little better, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. He the type of person, man, make you press the brakes and wait to see the regular season. But I like what he doing in camp. Man. But again, you know, let other people tell it. It's like if they doing good, you can use that in camp. If they doing bad, it's just camp. So, you know, or if they doing good and it's somebody they don't like, oh, it's just camp. You know, Skylar does good in camp. Oh, it's just camp. So let's just wait the regular season. The only thing that matters is what they put on the field when the games matter. You know, Noah will make Tua great again. Chargers are looking good. You know, I haven't watched a single preseason game, y'all, outside of ours. A single one. So y'all gonna have to tell me how these teams out there looking. Did the Chargers even play their starters? Somebody say they looking good. Was that the Baltimore Ravens? Did they play Lamar? Was that him? Chargers rookie wide receiver is a beast. Wow. When TD pops up on a live stream late night in bed, make me think of that song Night Shift by the Commodores. Oh my gosh. Man, I'm sorry, Dolphin fans, but they look at the bright side and the way it looks, you all might be in running for Caleb Williams. I don't like talking about that, honestly. I don't like talking about that because you'll bring an honesty out of me that other people won't like. But since you brought it up, I hope we ball out and we win a Super Bowl. But if we win 7 or 8 games or even 9 and miss the playoffs, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so freaking mad. Y'all ain't ever seen me. Y'all ain't ever seen me lose it. If we win 7, 8, or 9 games and miss the playoffs, I am going to be livid. Oh my gosh. And I say all that to say this. If this team is like 4-7 or 4-8 at any point, we 12 games in, is week 13 and we don't won 4 games, Mike McDaniel, you better prove your loyalty like Flores couldn't. We better tank Caleb Williams like no other. I don't care nothing about the integrity of the game. Matter of fact, we better lose 70-0. That's if it's Tua's fault. If Tua is a contributing factor. If Tua's balling out and we still losing because of the defense, then I'm just going to be so teed off at Chris Greer, man. But if we are having offensive woes, go get a better quarterback because he is better. And we'll be able to continue to afford great pieces for the next 4 years instead of 1 more year. We'll be able to afford all we want for the next 4 or 5 years instead of just 1 more year because we're going to have to pay Tua the big money. So I'm just saying, don't play with me, Dolphins, and be in no middle. You either show us you the real deal or you ain't. I ain't got time for no middle of the road crap. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think like that because I need it to happen now. I need us to be great right now. TD, have you noticed 2-9 being quieter lately? I don't bother them no more, man. I don't bother them people. I don't bother them people no more. They just love their guy and nothing wrong with that, man. That's all it is. They just love their guy and nothing wrong with that. But I know they're nervous because I'm nervous. I know they are nervous because I'm nervous. When you planning on doing a panel, TD, I'm going to start doing panels again on Tuesday nights. But after I get back, when training camp is over. So I'm going to start doing open panels on Tuesday nights like we used to. Okay. I'm with you on that, TD. I need us to go win it all now. Exactly. Tua got 3 years of development and Tua ready to live up to the hype. I hope so. That'll be dope. Like him just coming out having an MVP caliber season for real, like and no injuries and finish a year and you see what he is as a quarterback would be the dopest thing ever, man. What he has to make sure this year, though, is that he doesn't become a turnover machine. You can't come out here and pop out one of them 20 interception seasons. I'm telling y'all now, he just can't have a Baker Mayfield situation. I kept telling y'all, Baker Mayfield, year 3, they thought they had their guy. They did the 5th-year option. Year 4, they couldn't. Boy, they traded him at a loss before year 5. But our guy, we may not be able to trade unless he stay healthy. So Tua got to do it. He got to ball out. He got to be our guy. All right. Jordan Love looking nice, TD. I ain't seen him. I ain't seen no preseason football. And I ain't gonna lie, maybe when I get off this stream, since it's early, I'm probably just gonna scour through and just check it all out. How it's been, because I ain't seen none. I gotta go check out, hey, how has it been out here in these streets? I gotta go look at all these teams and look at how their quarterbacks did, how their team did. Mike probably trying something new with the offense, TD, is why Tua ain't lighting it up. I really feel we will dominate the season. I can feel it. I know what Mike is trying. Listen. I don't care who you listen to. This is a fact, okay? Listen, I've had this conversation with too many people in the know. We already know what Mike is trying. He is actually experimenting, y'all. But what people don't understand is the experiment is what we have to do. It's the real thing. Because Fangio's system is kind of what, when we run up against it in the previous years, that's what Tua has had his worst games. And this ain't just a McDaniel thing. Even back with Flores. When we played Denver and he got benched and all of that, these guys was running this type of system. The Chargers, all of them. And sometimes it ain't this system, but it got a lot of the same basic principles. I don't have it. It has some of the same basic principles. So what McDaniel is doing is trying to break through it. And he know it can be broken through, but in order to break through it, you got to have one of them dudes. And I ain't even talking about the arm talent and arm strength and all that. You got to have one of them dudes. Fast processing. All of that one of them Wonderlick boys. I'm telling you, you got to be able to make the right decision. It ain't just pick a guy, let it fly. Because in this system, they already know, the defense already know what guy you going to pick because they telling you who to go to pre-snap. But post-snap, they close it up. Like, for all those who don't understand what I'm saying, this is what Fangio's system is. Pre-snap, they give you a look. And in that look, the quarterback knows the play and the quarterback knows the areas that should be open based off of those looks. But when you hike the ball, Fangio's defense is guarding those spots and a little of the original spots. So when you hike that ball and you think you know where you're supposed to go based off a pre-snap read, oh no, that ain't there. I am telling y'all, if anybody in this room right now, if you've been to camp, how many times have you seen Tua do this? Hike. Oh, and he don't throw it. Smart. Because they almost got him. I done seen Tua pat that ball more than he ever has. Not a bad thing. Now, it does make him hold on to the ball too long. But what's happening is he hiking the ball, going based off of his pre-snap read where he's supposed to go. Whoa, that ain't there. And he's looking for the second and moving through. That's what Fangio's system does. It's for the young quarterbacks who can't process fast enough. And then as the pressure's coming, if they can rattle you enough, you will make mistakes. You will pick a guy, let it fly. You'll make interceptions. You'll take shots you shouldn't take. You will start guessing until the game slows down and you can start to pick it apart and know what they're doing and see what the wrinkles in it. It's not easy. So please understand, it's one thing to knock Tua, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy. I couldn't do it. Most quarterbacks actually can't. Most quarterbacks can't. This isn't just the Tua thing, but this is also what separates the good from the great, the average from the good, the below average from the average, the trash from the below average. This is what separates them. This is what separates them. And unfortunately, this year, we got 2 times as many defenses that we play that do it like this. 2 times as many as last year. John said, is this actually a good thing for our defense? It's a good thing against Daniel Jones. It's a good thing against whoever the quarterback is in Washington. It's a good thing against Dak because he got problems with it too. It's a good thing against Mac Jones twice. That's 5 games right there. It ain't a good thing against Russell Wilson, especially if he has time. It ain't a good thing against Aaron Rodgers twice. It ain't gonna be a good thing against Josh Allen twice. It ain't gonna be a good thing against Patty Mahomes because he just learned how to overcome this defense. He had a whole not a documentary, but a little segment on this defense. That this defense is what taught him how to calm down and stop looking for the big play all the time because they're trying to tell you it's open, but it ain't, and it's wasting time, and now you're in trouble. This ain't good for the mobile quarterbacks we gonna play like Hurts. Hurts got problem processing too, but he mobile. It ain't good for that because he can get out of trouble and he can pick up all them little 4 to 7 yards. It's not good for a lot of quarterbacks that we play against, but it's also good for a lot of quarterbacks we play with. So the defense ain't going to be as big of a concern. The concern is when you do go up against Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, the guys that's not going to be fazed by it. We're still going to make some plays. They're not going to be perfect against it, but their offense will still be able to function. It may not be a 40-point function, but they can still put up 31. They can still put up 27. But is your offense going to keep up with them? That's why the concern is we might have just enough to get in the playoffs, but when you go against just those teams, 1 or 2 round exit. Because will your offense be able to play against it? So you tell me, this type of defense, who do you think is better suited to play against it? Aaron Rodgers or Tua Tagovailoa? Aaron Rodgers, who done seen it his whole most of his career, or Tua Tagovailoa? Patrick Mahomes or Tua Tagovailoa? You see what I'm saying? Both defenses gonna do their thing, but who's better to play up against it? That's where the concern is. That's why the pro of all of this, at least he's experiencing it, y'all. At least he's going through the growing pains. So hopefully you see better and better and better and better production from our guy. You can't ask for him to be perfect day one. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't. Patrick Mahomes wouldn't versus this system. It's not easy for any quarterback, but the great quarterbacks, eventually they get it. So that's why I told y'all, if he's struggling, as long as he's continuing to try the fundamentals, I'm okay with him struggling. But don't just revert back to spot throwing because you're just like, whatever, man, let me just play. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Keep on working it out. Keep getting better. And it'll all work out for us, man. So the honest truth, it all depends on Tua. What approach does he want to take? Does he want to continue to work through it even though it's a struggle? Or does he want to revert back to what I call spot throwing? Other people call it anticipation. Because a lot of these interceptions he's throwing is anticipation. But ain't anticipating the defense at all. That's what I used to argue with people. They told me I don't know football. Anticipation goes two ways. It's not just where your guy's going to end up, but you also need to anticipate where the defense is going to end up. So if you're doing it one way, anticipating just your man and not the defense, you don't care about the defense, you're just anticipating that spot throwing. But if you're anticipating both sides of the ball, that's different. That's what you want to do. But we'll be fine. I think every time you hear that Tua's having a struggle, it could be viewed as a positive because he's trying to work the kinks out. He's trying to understand that camera on his helmet. They going back in there every day. What did you see here? What made you pull that trigger? And I'm going to be honest, those have to be some tough conversations. Because I always ask people, look at this interception. What made him throw it? People say he processing the defense. Then what made him throw this? And McDaniel has to be doing that every day from the helmet cam. What were you seeing here? What was your thought process? What made you, And as you keep on talking through it, at some point, things got to start getting repetitive and be like, we've been through this, though. And at that point, it either comes up to, you got issues or you need to fix them. It's that simple. So I love the camera. To me, is a piece of accountability. It's a piece of accountability within the coaching conversations. What were you seeing here? And once we start to repeat you seeing the same thing that leads to mistakes, then what's up? It's a piece of accountability, y'all. I am going to tell y'all now. I know a lot of people want to think that Mike McDaniel is soft. And maybe he is. I don't know. I just don't believe he is. I think behind closed doors and one-on-ones, he does his thing. But out in the public, he's the nicest. You think that he's a pushover. I want to believe that he do his thing when he get behind closed doors. And I'm going to tell y'all now, the way Tua's practice in the last week and a half, I know he's lightning to him. I know he's lightning to him. He's just not going to embarrass him out in public, which you shouldn't. And that's where Flores kind of had an issue. He never praised nor, well, you got to be better in it. He has to be lightning to him because a lot of decisions that Tua has been making in practice on the field is like, why? What was the purpose of throwing that deep ball to Tyreek in triple coverage with no separation? You're lucky they dropped the pick. What did you see? Don't tell me anticipation because they were back there. There's too much of that happening. So I know McDaniel is on him about that type of stuff. But I'm scared that if McDaniel takes that away from him, because sometimes it works. You could blindly throw it up. Hey, the defense did collapse and it worked. But I know that if McDaniel take that away from him, he's going to feel like, man, I got to process everything. And I mean, what if I'm too delayed? Oh, it is open, but it's too late now. I should have thrown it a second ago, and usually I would. But you didn't read it if you would have threw it a second ago. You don't know. I'm telling y'all, it's just Tua's whole game is on the speed of his processing. And everybody said Tua has to win with anticipation. With anticipation also comes a lack of properly processing the defense. His quick release in anticipation is coming with a lack of truly processing the secondary to see what they're trying to do against them. Because the one thing that I know about Tua studying the film, every interception he throws is like, why? It's not your typical bounced off his hand into the receiver. You'll get an occasional, he went the right person. He just overthrew it and they intercepted it. You'll get an occasional one like that. But most of them, like, why did you even throw it? So it's all about processing. And McDaniel's going to continue to work with them on it. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we just got to go into the regular season with the system that gets him at his graduated level. Whatever his next level is, it may not be up there, but if he was here last year, he ain't got to be up here. Whatever his graduated level is, that's where we need to rock and roll. And it'll be good enough for us to contend. It'll be good enough for us to contend. But we can't make him try to be way up where he isn't, because you're seeing the mistakes he's making on the field now in camp. So Tua will be all right. I think that once again, he has a huge bounce back time in Houston. I will be there to give you the ones and twos. I'll be there to give you the exclusive on it. I'm excited about it. Thank y'all for sending me to Houston. Thank y'all for sending me to Houston. Not all this secondhand information and trying to decipher it. Thank y'all for sending me to Houston. I will be there to give y'all the real scoop of what's happening and be able to hopefully have some live footage. So, and camp down there starts at 9 a.m. So that's 10 a.m. East Coast. So it'll be 9 there. So 10 a.m. y'all look for me to be trying to go live. And if I can, and I'm in a good position, y'all gonna see it with me. So I always look for the best vantage point to where y'all can get the best coverage. So y'all can see everything the way that I see it. But we're gonna be there, and I'm appreciative of you guys. So if you want to donate to training camp fund when I come back in the training camps in Miami, the last two, just hit up the Cash App. Those who are offering to buy a meal or something in Houston, just hit up the Cash App. Again, thank y'all so much for sending me. That's all squared away. And those who continue to support, love y'all. Appreciate you guys. And if you couldn't support, thank you for watching the streams. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for letting your friends and family members know about the channel. Thank you, Mod Squad. Thank you, members. Thank all y'all, man. I'm having fun doing this. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my life doing what I love, covering the team I love. And I couldn't do it without you guys. And I appreciate you every single time. So for those who, I may not make happy, I'm sorry. Hey, I just got to be me and do it how I do it. And those who rock with me regardless, salute to you all. Fins up no matter what. God bless you all. Kiss on your babies. Love on your family. It's Sunday night. I'm going to get out of here early. We got a full slate tomorrow, so y'all come through. Tomorrow, like I said, we got a full slate, so y'all come through tomorrow. And then Tuesday, you'll get me Tuesday evening because I'll be traveling. All right? So I'll be there earlier. Haters finna hate TD. I didn't hate. Hey, that's their business. That's their business. We gonna keep doing what we do. All right. Fins up, no matter what. Peace. I am out.